Well, welcome to another Wednesday night at the ABCs of Faith, presented by First Presbyterian Church, downtown Bradenton, Florida, where we are
cultivating hearts for Jesus from the heart of downtown. I'm Dino.
And I am Larry. This is going to be another fun episode for us. Unfortunately, there are not a ton of X words, so we decided to do mostly X marks the spot, but we felt it would be unfair to leave out the one X word we did have, which is
Xerxes.
Why don't you take it?
Xerxes is pretty much, again, the only straightforward X word we have in Scripture. Xerxes was a king in the Persian Empire, and he's actually known also as Ahasuerus. Xerxes is the kind of Hellenization, the ancient Greek form of that word, and we actually talked about him a couple weeks ago during the V episode, because he was the king who was married to Queen Vashti. And you might recall, this is in the book of Esther, Vashti denies him his request of her presence. He ditches her and gets Queen Esther to be his new queen. So basically, he's the king of the Persian Empire. His dad, King Darius, who during his rule really expanded the Persian Empire and took everything over. He expanded it all the way to Egypt, created quite a legacy for his son to follow. So Xerxes was in charge of a lot, and that's our X.
Very good.
For the rest of the show, I guess X marks the spot.
X marks the spot, which will be places like my next word, which is
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia, indeed. Ethiopia, in biblical times at least, was essentially anything south of Egypt.
Okay.
It shows up in Solomon's writings because the Queen of Sheba actually comes and asks him for wisdom. That's actually in 1 Kings chapter 10, where it's really talking about that. It turns out she doesn't just come for his wisdom, comes bringing him like gold and silver and expensive stuff.
Animals,
galore, I mean,
yeah.
you name it. Pretty exciting. In the New Testament, we see Ethiopia because there's a eunuch in particular. He's sitting there, he's reading an Isaiah scroll. Next thing you know, he is being baptized into the faith. So we know that there was a prominent Jewish community in the Ethiopian area. In fact, if you study it now, there has been some fallout between Judaism and Christianity, because they were, like many people, when Christianity first started to take root and people first started understanding what Jesus was or who Jesus was, they were staunchly against the idea that he could have been the Messiah. So there was a lot of almost like civil war and unrest in that particular area from that historically. So Ethiopia, prominent area, biblically speaking.
And it's time for another speed round. Today it's going to be Larry's turn. Larry, why don't you pick a number?
I will.
Out of the bag. And your number is 23.
23. Was that Michael Jordan?
That was Michael Jordan. You've got 23 seconds to talk about Patmos. Ready?
Patmos, I am.
Go.
The island of Patmos is very small, insignificant, in the Aegean Sea. When you look at it geographically, it was literally nothing, but it's very important to us because John was exiled there by the Romans, and it was there that he got a vision that we call the book of Revelation, which is incredibly important for the Christian faith, which proves that God, no matter where you're at, can use you.
And that's it. Good job, Larry.
I kind of hit 23 seconds, so
you did.
I'm pretty happy about that.
You did.
Okay, welcome to Head to Head. This week we're doing the letter X, and the Bible has a kind of a limited number of X words, so we decided to go with X marks the spot. Every answer this week is going to be a location from the Bible.
That begins with the letter X?
Not that begins with letter X, it's just the X is on the map somewhere.
Just kidding, okay.
Okay, question 1. The church in this city was neither hot nor cold, but lukewarm. Larry.
Laodicea.
Laodicea. Larry comes out charging. This city will have streets of gold and will not need the sun or the moon for light, because the glory of God will give it light. Dino.
New Jerusalem.
New Jerusalem. 1-1. It was surrounded by 4 rivers. We don't know where the Pishon and Gihon are, but we do know about the Tigris. Do you know?
Garden of Eden.
Garden of Eden.
Forgot I could remember.
When building the temple, King Solomon specifically called for cedar logs from this place.
Lebanon.
Lebanon. 2-2.
It's like tightest the race has been in a while.
It is, right?
I'm sweating under the collar.
We may have to use the tiebreaker question that I've got.
My gosh.
A small town with several claims to fame. Jacob's wife Rachel was buried there. Ruth met Boaz. And the King James Version of the Gospel of Luke, it gets a promotion when angels refer to it as the city of David. Dino.
Bethel.
No, I'm sorry, that's not right.
Bethlehem.
Oh.
Bethlehem, the city of David.
Oh, that was a major slip up.
We're getting close
If
to the
you-
tiebreaker.
And if you can believe it, it's 3-2.
Yes.
Larry?
Larry could take it now.
I need one. I need a win.
Known for its twisted trunk olive trees, this garden, whose name means oil press, is where Jesus prayed the night. Dino.
Gethsemane.
Gethsemane.
Totally knew that. 3-3.
3-3. Tied up.
Is this the tiebreaker question?
Nope. This
No.
is the last regular question.
Okay, so if whoever gets this one wins.
Fact.
If none of us get this one, then we go to the
Then we go
tiebreaker.
to the tiebreaker. That's right.
Okay, what if we tie?
Winning.
Okay.
This body of water is known by several names in the Bible, including the Sea of Chinnereth, the Sea of Tiberias, and,
Galilee.
Sea of Galilee. And that does it. 4-3, though, Larry. That was.
It was close, but
That was
still
close.
overall a raw trouncing. Let's just put it that way. I almost won that. I mean, I was up 3-2.
You were. You just didn't. You put the closer in basically, and he gave up 2 runs at the end of the game in the bottom of the ninth. I hit a walk-off, is what happened.
I would have won based on the old rules. Can we go back to the old rules, where we only went to 3 questions to win?
No, you're the one who
I
made
know.
it more questions because you thought it would improve
I
your
thought
chances.
I could win.
Yeah. I'm on quite a streak here, folks.
It's quite a streak, and we're getting so close to the end of the alphabet. I'm starting to believe. Sometimes you think there's light at the end of the tunnel.
There's
I'm
not
just ready
for you.
for it to be over.
There's not for you. Yeah.
There may not be.
Yeah.
But with that said, if you have words for Y and Z, send them to Larry@Bradenton.church or comment on the Facebook video if you're watching here, YouTube video if you're watching it on YouTube. Don't be afraid to share this show because we like for people to actually watch it. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah,
really,
we do.
really cool. Last word for today is your word, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Rome. And when you talk about Rome in biblical terms, you have to talk about a specific location, and you also have to talk about kind of a concept. So let's start with the specifics first. Rome is the major big city at the time. It's the New York City. It's the London of the day. It's Rome. And it's the seat of the Roman Empire. So it's where everything is happening. It's the center of culture, the center of politics, and the Roman Empire back in the day actually encompassed all of the land that surrounds the Mediterranean Sea. You're talking about northern Africa, all the way over to the Middle East and Turkey. You're talking about Greece, Italy, Spain, Portugal, and all the way up to Germany. So this is a humongous empire that is being ruled out of the city of Rome. Rome is also where the Apostle Paul ends up imprisoned and where he writes his epistles, his letters that comprise the majority of the New Testament. So he ends up being martyred there, and that's some of the specifics on Rome. Now, as a concept, Rome plays a major role in the first century because as the major empire, it is the oppressor. And the emperors are the oppressors of the freedom of the Jewish people. They've, again, been in their own land. They've had the promised land taken away from them, got it back, got to exile, got separated and spread out. Now they're being taken over by this Roman Empire. They want liberation and freedom in the first century, and they actually believe that the Messiah is the one who's going to come, start the war that liberates them from Rome, that oppressive concept. So how wrong they were, different freedom came from the Messiah, better freedom, a more eternal freedom, but that's how Rome plays into the scriptures.
Very good, very well done. And next week we'll be back with
the letter Y.
Yeah, which is going to be super cool. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.